That strategy that Chris Hughton had in that opening game against Egypt, where we were able to get on the front foot right from the beginning, will probably be challenged because one of the main architects of that particular strategy was Majid Ashimeru, and he came off in that game against Egypt. I was in the mix zone for the interviews, and he walked by, didn't talk to the media, but he was visibly limping. We've not had any updates from the team on him, but if you watched what it was like, I think it will be a probably 50-50 situation on whether he makes it to the next game or not. I'm sure that the medics of the team will probably be racing against the clock to do everything possible to get him in. But if he doesn't make it, that raises another question of who comes in as his replacement. If you look at the profile of players that we currently have in our team, it will be, the most immediate replacement for Anashimeru would be Richmond Lamptey. But he plays his football for Asante Kotoko. There was a lot of controversy surrounding his inclusion into the team. But the irony is that Richmond Lamptey played with Majid Ashimeru at the West African Football Academy before Ashimeru left and went overseas. And so, he knows this group pretty well. He knows a couple of them pretty well. His skill set is one who progresses the ball. He can give a defense splitting pass. But will the technical team trust him to step into the shoes of Majid Ashimeru in case he's not fit? I think that they should, because really, if you are not going to trust the player to be able to step in an emergency situation, why did you take the player to the tournament in the first place? Is it a sightseeing visit to Cote d'Ivoire or what? I'm expecting them to make a big call like that because, again, I'll take you back to Cameroon where Andy Yadom was injured he was injured heading into our final game against Comoros, and Philemon Bafo, who a lot of people believe was there because of his affiliation to the FA president, was still not trusted, even though he was fully fit, at the detriment of a half-fit Andy Yadom. So I don't want to see a repetition of that kind of situation again, because then that affects the kind of football you're going to play. Is Chris Hughton going to trust Baba Idrisu to play alongside Salis Abdul Samed? Ideally, that is Hughton's identity, playing with a double pivot in midfield. But a double pivot in midfield means that you are approaching the game with a conservative mentality. And that is not what Ghanaians like to see, first of all. And that is not what you need going into a game where you want to win. And so a lot of questions are up in the air as far as the strategy and the personnel. I also think that you talked about the second half where Egypt were basically bombarding Ghana and were transitioning very fast. I feel like Chris Hughton tried to defend the lead that Ghana had. But, if you are going to pack the bus or you are going to play with those tactics, you need to have the right type of personnel. I don't think that Ghana has the right type of personnel. I don't think it is in Ghana's DNA to play 90 minutes of defensive football and counter-attack based on the kind of personnel we have. Mohamed Kudu, Joseph Pinto, Osman Bukari, Inaki Williams. It's really not in our DNA to sit back and have the opponent bombard us for 90 minutes and try and hit on the counter-attack. And we saw it against Egypt. We were literally uncomfortable the entire 45 minutes. And so I want to really know what Chris Hughton will bring up. We'll have a press conference a day before the match. And so hopefully he himself can give us answers to some of these questions that have come up. But the truth of the matter is that the personnel available currently are not suited to playing counter-attacking football. The circumstances that faces Ghana currently is not suited to playing counter-attacking football. It might be a good strategy because the Mozambicans are a very good ball-playing side. And we saw that against the Pharaohs of Egypt. They lost their second game by 3-0. And if they are a team that have any pride in them and have any pride to savage, you know that they will come out all guns blazing against the Black Stars. And so we might be looking perhaps at most complicated game in the tournament so far.